I just died.
I know he was. Well, he just emailed us.
Maybe you did. Maybe you're, maybe.
No, he sent, yeah, he just.
No.
Sent y'all the.
Yeah, I got that, I got that.
Thank you for sending it just to me. Let's see if it's.
Okay. You know what, let me check my other, no? You know, let me check this.
I sent the second.
Oh,
The first one did
my
not.
stuff is not. I thought that was still there.
I sent,
No, mine doesn't really work here. It says that it works here, but it's not. No.
Yeah, I don't have any.
The second one I sent. Arnold said the same thing.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time.
Here's my name down there. Would you volunteer me for it down there, sir?
We can check the bonus, David. 3 more committees.
Huh?
3 more committees.
Oh, 3 more committees, yeah.
I just sent it about 30 minutes ago.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I see that one, of course. Oh, I didn't, oh, here they are. Let me think. Apply. Maybe we up?
I get it. Facebook.
29. Yeah, I got it.
Me, 7:35. Thank you.
Oh, there. I got it.
I'm gonna go vote tomorrow.
That's easy. Okay. I'll try to resolve this. You ready now? All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the meeting. Thank you for coming. And we're gonna go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And just as a reminder, anyone who's new to the meeting, we conduct the meeting in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and there's a sign-up sheet in the back. So after we close down the regular meeting, that is a time for, we'll get the sheet and you'll have 2 minutes to talk to us, ask a question, and then we'll try to respond to the best of our ability, but then sometimes we don't have all the information. So if you would leave your contact number, then we have a way to follow up with you. So. I think we should do some. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Just okay, this for the. Okay, in TV land. In TV land. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and establish a quorum. Maureen Walsh is here. Don Harmon.
Here.
Tiffany Becker. Here. Bill Hines.
Here.
Charles Swain.
Here.
Arnold Joseph.
Here.
Sherry Russell.
Here.
I believe she's on video. She's not feeling well. And Grace Pippin. Here. And she's new to our board, so welcome. And then Brooks Marsh, she is not here. So we do have a quorum established. Next up is the secretary's report, and these are the minutes from the August meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the August 2024 open meeting minutes.
And I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next up is a treasurer's report.
Thank you. Good evening. For the September report, we are still overall favorable in our revenues and we have a $43,000 positive variance in our resident revenues year to date. And that is primarily because we collected almost 99% of our admin fees or our dues assessments. Y'all hear me back there? Great job to Allison and the team for the collections there. We're ahead of schedule. Golf operations is the other kind of major item that's off this year. We're down $39,000 year to date, and we think it's primarily, well, we know it's primarily due to the greens fees are down 15,000 or 12%, and the cart fees are down 12,000 and about 15%. And we think it's primarily due to two factors. It was a very hot summer, and they didn't see as much play for outside of those green fees. And the irrigation project kind of had us kind of jumping around some of the holes. So we hope to kind of pick that up for the rest of the year. On operating expenses as a whole, well, let me go to cost of sales. The cost of sales are pretty much in line with about $40,000 over on the cost of sales, but also our revenues are up. That kind of offsets the cost of sales expense. On payroll as a whole, we are in a positive variance or favorable variance of $152,000. I know this shows up red as a negative, but it's actually a good thing in this case, but we're going to work on this report. This is primarily due to what I've said every month, I think, is that we had an extra month budget, extra pay period budgeted in May that got paid on April 30th. So you'll see this kind of favorable variance carried throughout the rest of the year. The operating expenses as a whole, we are still favorable $302,000 for the total operating expenses. Some of the major items in those areas include our admin is $184,000 favorable due to timing on taxes being retained, the audit engagement fee, and our insurance, which was budgeted earlier in the year for a full monthly paid. We're now accruing that for the rest of the year, so we'll see that kind of dwindle. Maintenance is $48,000 favorable, primarily just due to some repairs that were budgeted that we've not completed or needed, i.e. like the culvert repair that we have in there that we budgeted. The rec center, $21,000, and it was a total on the rec center items that's just not been paid or not needed yet year to date. Golf maintenance is $29,000 favorable, mostly due to some anticipated purchases and timing and things like that. So that leaves us overall favorable operating income of $493,000 year to date. Cash position wise, it's on the back. I only really looked at the operating and capital, but we are still in a strong position this year. We have about $4.3 million in combined operating and capital costs. And the last item is our capital spending. We budgeted $1.2 million to be spent. We've spent $858,000. Most of this is timing on things. There are a few items we probably won't do, but most of this is just timing that we haven't completed the projects. So that's it. Okay. I do want to do a shout out for the rec group this weekend. You may already be doing this, and I apologize if you are. So that was a great community. What was their fall event that we had this weekend? It was great. Good turnout on that. So thank you very much for that.
Next up is the president's report, and I'm just going to touch on two things quickly. The first is, as a board, we have seen an escalation of bad behavior towards staff and other members trying to support the community, which includes SPA and the fire department. And the board wants to let you know that the neighborhood know that we're really taking this seriously. Examples of this kind of behavior has been from yelling to cursing to threatening. We have told them not to tolerate this, to disengage, to hang up the phone or ask them to leave. In some cases, we will be calling the county sheriff. In addition, the board is going to be looking at ways to help curb this and address. So just want to remind everyone to try to be kinder. The second thing is I want to announce that we're going to hold another community session meeting. This will be held from 6 to 7 on November 18th, and it's a Monday, and it's before the November POA board meeting, which then will start at 7:30 after that. And the topics are gonna be two topics. The first will be the governing documents. So we're gonna be going through Fairfield's governing documents and then explain them and answer any questions. The second is more communication. We're gonna share more information around safe dams and some of the required work and testing. And we're gonna explain where we are in a little more in depth and help answer questions. But Allison is gonna touch on this just a little bit during her report. But just look for a more in-depth conversation around it before the November board meeting. Okay, so with that, next up is the operations report from Allison.
Yeah. So in September, we celebrated the 50th anniversary, or the 50th anniversary of Fairfield, and it's the 50th annual meeting of the Fairfield Plantation Property Owners Association. This year came with a few challenges due to the mail service and a little more time in planning since we're celebrating a milestone, but everything went off without a hitch. I do want to thank all staff for all their hard work in making it a success this year again. This month, I'd also like to provide an update on the dams and where we're currently at on the repairs. And this is just a high level. We can go into more detail at the November open session, but as you may recall, we've saved for 5 years to do the mandated repairs and additional work required during the permitting process by the EPD through the Safe Dams program. In August, we received the bids for the work, and they were substantially higher than expected due to the current construction market and post-COVID costs. We're currently looking to pivot from the original plan to complete work on both dams and possibly only do the work on Ashley this year. In addition, our engineers are negotiating with the contractors that bid to make modifications to the plans to save additional money, both of which will be dependent on the state for approval. Since additional money will be needed to be budgeted, the dams will weigh heavily during the budget process set to begin next month. Leading up to the hurricane last month, there were several in the community questioning whether or not the dams are safe. I just wanted to reiterate that our dams are safe and they're inspected several times each year by several different people. So I just want to say that the reason why we are doing these repairs are mandatory repairs to meet regulatory requirements set forth by the state. These requirements were put in after our dams were. So it's just getting them back up to state standards, although they are very structurally sound. So I know that there was a lot of concerns over especially leading up to the hurricane, but the dams are sound and safe. So lastly, I just wanted to do a few Halloween reminders since it's that time of year. In 10 short days, the streets will be full of trick-or-treaters. Just a reminder that Fairfield follows traditional trick-or-treating practices on October 31st, usually beginning around dusk. There's no official route, but due to the popularity of the area, Magnolia Drive will be blocked off again this year to through traffic. Although it's not the official route, we do highly encourage trick-or-treating throughout the community. If you wish to participate in handing out candy to the kiddos, simply turn on your porch light, or have your decorations on and all of that. If you wish to use a golf cart, the golf carts are allowed to be driven after dark on Halloween, but they must be registered with the POA. ATVs are still not allowed, even on a holiday. Please use caution when driving through the community so that everybody has a safe and happy Halloween.
Okay, thank you. Next up is old business.
On old business, these topics I'm about to bring. Oh, yeah, okay. These topics that I'm about to bring up have been discussed at the community patrol meetings for probably the last 2 years. I serve as the liaison to that particular committee, so there's been numerous discussions on these topics. These were brought up by the committee and ultimately went to the board for review and for passage as well.
So what we've done is ratification of the vote taken on September 12th to modify the citation schedule for stop sign violations. So we've increased the stop sign violations on a first offense to $200, and a secondary charge will result in a $400 fine. Discharge of a firearm up to $200 first offense, $400 for the second. And on the good side, and to decrease improper parking to a warning for the first offense followed by a citation, continuing at $25. So we felt like with the growth of Fairfield and the very narrow streets we have and people having extra cars, maybe 4 or 5 cars per house in some cases, or gatherings, that by doing a warning would be in the best benefit to the residents. So with these changes, I would like to make a motion to ratify the vote taken on September 12th.
A second,
I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. All right, next up is lot management, and we've got 3 sales that we're gonna be going through.
Be patient with me and the microphones, I'll eventually figure them out.
Good luck.
Okay, so this month, we need to approve, 3 lot sales. All of these were virtually combined prior to being listed for sale. Another lot was sold last month, and, thanks to Charles for informing me, we are, after these sales are completed, we'll actually have met our budget goal on lot sales for the year, so that's encouraging. So with that, I would like to make a motion to approve the sale of 3 lots on Holly Court. That's 10,008, 10,009, and 10,010. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion carries.
Okay, I'd like to make another motion to approve the sale of 3 lots on Longleaf Drive. It's 8,070, 8,081, and 8,072.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
Okay, and lastly, I'd like to make a motion to approve the sale of 2 lots on Tall Pine Drive, 6,006 and 6,007.
The second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This month, we do not have committee reports, so with that, we'll go ahead and look to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion?
I would like to, I do want to mention, I wanted to also do a shout out to the fire department for your volunteer work for up in North Carolina. Please tell your guys, thank you, and thanks to the community. Great thing to do. Thank you.
Yeah.
We need a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
In favor, I think. All
Aye.
right, next up, we're going to wrap up and go to the open forum. All right, we've got James Hewitt.
Hot?
Say-
Is it hot?
Hot? Thank you.
Good morning.
Oh.
Could I grab a mic or so that TV land hears me?
Yeah.
Which one would you like me to use? Depends on the,
Whichever one has a green light on it.
Yeah.
That's
Turn it
fine.
on for you?
Sure,
Yeah,
thank you.
we'll turn it on.
Appreciate it.
There you go. There you are. Mhm.
First of all, Ms. Wells, Ms. Becker, and the board, thank you for your efforts on behalf of the community. We're proud to live here, and we know that it's not an easy job, and thank you for your work. Appreciate it very much. I did have a topic to speak of, but briefly, something else I thought of. Is there anything that we as community members who have already done the right thing to create a quorum that has not happened yet for the new DOR? Is there anything that we as community members can do to assist in getting that quorum? A grassroots type of effort. I mean, appreciate you guys are doing your
We're
best,
open to ideas.
but you know,
Because we're at 280-ish.
Yeah.
It's probably it's been a good vote.
Uh-huh.
We've had pretty good success, but we're just down to this, I don't know if I need this, but.
Yeah.
We've actually talked about that. We just haven't had a chance to get through it, but having block party meetings. We had concerts last year. We had 2 concerts, so it's probably is time to
Come up with
continue.
another big.
We do another email. We used the integrity this year, which was good, and just I sent out another blast where we feel like we're not at the
10-yard, maybe
Do
at the
we
30
have an
yard.
idea, the trepidation of why community members are not stepping up to create that quorum? What's the
I think it's historically, people just have not been voted, like even the vote for the, board of
Annual
directors.
elections.
It's like 200 people that vote out of, thousands.
There's so much critical things in there that are beneficial for our community, and I really wish we could get that quorum. So we don't know, obviously, and you don't know,
No.
because the integrity of vote technique.
Well, we're
I know-
open to any ideas if
but,
you have any.
Yeah, I know that signage is frowned upon in our community, but, I just didn't know if there was any grassroots type of things, but certainly I try to
No.
encourage ones that I speak to.
I think
to
it's
support
something
that.
we need to come up with another big idea.
Well,
I talked to neighbors that didn't know anything about it. They said, we thought we saw an envelope and we just pushed it aside. And-
Yeah.
And that's not the first time I've heard that.
yeah. Well,
I'll-
I'll keep
I'll
in mind, and
I'll laugh
maybe,
at that.
social media or something could help as
That'd be
well.
great.
Yeah.
But thank you, that really wasn't very, and I'll be very respectful and brief.
Mhm.
I think many of you probably know why I'm here tonight, to ask an uncomfortable question about livestock in the community. And I appreciate the code and the front desk folks who have been fielding my visits
Mhm.
on a monthly basis.
Oh,
As you know, I live at 3152 Sweetbriar.
we
I-
don't know that necessarily. just
I
so
take
we're-
pride in my home and I maintain it very well. I just put $100,000 in the ground by means of a swimming pool that's beautiful. I get lots of compliments on it. But what's directly behind my swimming pool is a pig,
Yeah.
a pig.
So,
And our current DOR, our current documents clearly state farm animals are not allowed. And fundamentally, just understand, it's not that I hate pigs. As a matter of fact, the pig really, it's the visual of the pig is really not even my concern. It's that the yard looks like a pigsty. It smells like a pigsty. So imagine if you had spent $100,000 in your backyard and now you have friends over and they say, what's that ungodly smell? Why does it smell like that?
Well, if you don't.
Oh, it's because a pig just pooed 20 feet from you. That's why.
So we've addressed this as a board, but we won't discuss this
I understand.
openly,
Sure.
but after the meeting, if that's okay, I think we can also talk about that, or if, I don't know if there's any notification, but we've definitely addressed this and, livestock is not approved in this community, so.
Well,
But-
and Dakota has been quite clear that you guys can't openly divulge to me the conversations that you're having privately with another neighbor. I get that.
Mhm.
Here's actually why I'm here. I'm gonna trust that each of you that have your eyeballs on me tonight will think that I would trust that you would approach this matter with the same vigor
Mhm.
as if that pig resided 20 feet from your
Mhm.
backyard. I have to stand by and trust that you care about this topic as much as I do, as though it were literally impacting your life.
Mhm.
Correct.
So it's the presence of the pig that does not meet our regulations. Their yard looks like a pigsty. It smells like a pigsty. There's broken trampolines. There's hay that's being thrown around to mitigate the pig rutting. There's broken swimming pools. Yeah.
I just don't like to talk about other community neighbors, whatever, but we have definitely addressed this.
Yeah.
And I think you'll hear shortly more of an outcome, so.
Yeah, I mean,
appreciate
and the other thing is, we do have like an appeal process. So
I
we do-
understand,
It is, things do sometimes get lengthy, given
Yes.
how, how much people want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
continue to escalate, but just know that's what sometimes takes time.
And I
because
trust
it
that.
goes through the
My
process.
purpose for showing up was to simply ask that you would treat this matter with the same vigor as you would treat it if it were literally 20 feet from your $100,000 swimming pool that you just put in.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Thank you
it.
for your hard
Yeah.
work.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time and your efforts.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Yes,
Next up is Yolanda, and it's,
I just wanted to let everyone know that this Sunday, we're allowing, Arnold's to allow the financial education and through the, I really have just joined the, Kiwanis Club, so we'll be working out some things with the school here. But anyone that's, want to come by and just be here, I have some flyers in the back.
Is that here? Yeah, I don't know if they heard that or not.
so,
It doesn't cost any fees,
So it's the Kiwanis Club.
No, it's not.
What did I
Kiwanis.
miss?
No, she's having a, they're having.
Oh, they're having a meeting, okay. So there's flyers on the back.
Yeah.
Is that anything we can put out on the email blast, or should we? Is that?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's what we-
Okay, so it will get communicated.
Yeah.
Communicated to the community.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the meeting.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate your work.
Thank you so much.